Call ceiling experts today. Quality materials, free estimates, affordable prices, professional installation, reliable and efficient service with over 20 years experience. We can build any design given to us. Quality over quantity. Lowest prices in Trinidad, so book us today.
Okay, my friends, pleasant good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Those of you who are locked on to our program, Hardfacts on Sentinel Media Broadcasting. I am your host, Imam Rashid Karim. My co-host, Mr. Premchand Baldev. We are here on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, highlighting the anomalies, the atrocities that have been perpetrated by the criminal elements in our country, Trinidad and Tobago, as well as highlighting the performance of the government of Trinidad and Tobago and also the opposition when it comes to you, the hard-working, loyal citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So once more again, those of you who are locked on, those of you who are always watching us, we want to thank you all very, very much, because we know for a fact that there are many, many people who are sitting and just waiting on our program, because the type of information that we are sharing on this program, really and truly, it is the information that no other station wants to really and truly dwell there, simply because maybe it will encroach on somebody's toes. And my friends, again, that is something that they don't want. But again, those of you who are locked on, you're going to realize that Hardfacts is a program that is designed to identify not only the weakness of individuals, but also the strength of individuals. And we have been doing this really and truly in a manner that is really and truly pleasing, not only to ourselves, but to our Creator, the Supreme Master. Okay? So again, my friends, I want to take this opportunity to welcome each and every one of you. We are live on YouTube, we are live on TikTok, we are live on Facebook. And my friends, those of you who would like to call us, feel free to call our number, 740-3347, and let us know what is taking place in your neck of the woods. Prem?
Thank you very much, Imam. Assalamu alaikum, namaste, and a pleasant good afternoon. A pleasant Wednesday good afternoon, that is midweek good afternoon, Imam. To our viewers and our callers and our texters and our well-wishers, and to those who disagree with us at times too. Okay, so a very warm and cordial welcome to each and everyone to our program Hardfacts. Now, Imam, a lot is happening in our country. A lot is happening in the sister isle, which is Tobago. All right? There are criminal elements parading the streets as though they are the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Okay? Now, I don't know where the school children are getting this violent, aggressive attitude from. All right?
Tell you where?
Just now. I don't know where it is coming from. If it is the food we eating, the music we are listening to, or what we are seeing from our elders, or what we are seeing in movies, where is it coming from? And you know where I'm heading to.
Yeah.
Okay, you take over, Imam. You go ahead.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Now, the question that you are asking is, where is those actions really and truly emanating from? Now, I'll tell you something. There's a lot of things that compound and really and truly bring about these types of actions. And mainly, and I want the people of Trinidad and Tobago, because I know for a fact that many of you would be heading in a direction Like, for example, that video that is viral right now on Facebook with that child, that young girl, being brutalized by her classmate. Something that, I mean, I abhor, I hate that action. I don't even want to see that action happening to my worst enemy. And my friend, when I saw that, and you look, those of you who have been looking on at Sentinel website, you're going to realize that we had over maybe 500 comments. And we had to really and truly delete some of those comments because it wasn't really fit for our station. Because we are guided by the protocols of Facebook and all the networks. We are guided by that. Now, Prim, I tell you something, bottom line is this. Bottom line is this. When we look at our parents, right? I'm not blaming the parents. When we look at the stress and the hardship that our parents today, this parents today, has to go through on a daily basis to put food on a table, to put uniform on the back of that school child, and books in that bag, and pay that transportation to and from school, it takes a lot of doing from parents.
Imam, that is peer pressure from your neighbors, your villagers, and everybody, you know, because your child expect that, I need to have a phone like this.
Yeah.
Everybody has one.
Yeah.
Dad, my school should have a hole.
Yeah.
Dad, my book bag strap break. Go ahead.
And I'll tell you something, right? Parents today to facilitate those type of quests and those type of desires to fulfill for the children, because that is not something that long time you could tell the children, shut your mouth and go inside and keep quiet and go on and pin up your boss jock shorts and pin up your jersey, and they'll give you a pants and they take a long string and tie it around your waist.
You remember this, Imam? Just to cut you for 1 second.
Yeah.
You remember this? The dad sits in a hammock and he gives his son 5 cents to go to the parlor to buy something for him.
Yeah.
And he says, listen to me. You see that spit where I just spit in it wrong?
Yeah.
Before that dry, make sure you reach back here, you know.
Yeah.
Where has that gone? That's a form of discipline, you know.
Yeah.
Not abuse.
But again, not in this present era, right?
It can't work.
Because the children have been indoctrinated differently. Because I tell you something, when parents have this mentality that, you know, I was in that same condition like you, before the spit dry,
Yes.
you know, in that condition, they don't want to give their children the like manner of that system. So what they always, you hear parents say this, but I went through a hard life. I don't want my children to go through that. And they always try their best. Now the point I am heading to, and I'm directing this to, you know who? I am directing this to the government of Trinidad and Tobago. Their children and their parents. Their parents do not see their children maybe only on weekends. Maybe on a Sunday afternoon. Because you know why? They have to work 2 shifts. Father have to work morning shift, mother have to work night shift, and this is how that system is functioning. And you know something? Children are left alone, and they are left to the miscreants of society. Because you're going to realize that children are smoking weed in schools. Children are doing all sorts of illicit actions, making pornography in schools, and doing all sorts of wrong things in school. And you know, many people would say that we need to blame the parents, we need to blame the students. But I tell you something, this lies squarely on the governance of the day. The governance of the day need to take and shoulder their responsibility. Make it easy. You all put in so much pressure when it comes to the education system. When parents had to find $5,000 to buy books, what's going to happen?
Imam, I ain't taking no size. I don't take size. You know I'm a very vociferous, rugged individual.
Yeah.
That, what you're speaking about, was partially or wholly alleviated by the previous government.
Yeah, that's the UNC government.
The UNC government with the laptop program. It was taken away. Go ahead. It was taken away, so the problem, it resurfaces.
Right, so it clearly indicated that to me, now I put a comment when I saw this child being brutalized.
We have a video in it,
victimized. No, I don't want to really show that video. Right, director, I don't think if you show that video, it mightn't be conducive to the audience. Because I tell you something, we are trying our best because we don't want to publicize that too much. Because, you know, sometimes when you hear young children committing suicide and young children doing things that, you know, is
shame and peer pressure,
it is because of those things. How is it that child, that video went viral? right? You know something? That person who made that video, right, before he sent that video viral or she sent that video viral, that could have been given to the principal of that school as
and handed over to the
evidence,
police.
as
Yes.
evidence, so that all those miscreants and all those culprits should not be given 7 days suspended sentence. They should be expelled immediately, forthwith from that school. Because when you don't set examples, that is the problem. When you don't set examples correctly and you give children a tap on the shoulder as punishment, that is going to surface in the whole educational system in Trinidad and Tobago. Those of you who are locked on, feel free to call us. We are speaking about that incident that happened in the Tobago classroom, where the whole class,
Turn on the child.
not one
Yes.
or two, but the whole class, and even the male students, because if you look at it, the male students also dealt blow on that child. And my friends, again, I'm telling you, I had heard a lot of comments, and even so much so that one parent said that if that was his daughter, it would have been a different story this morning. Now, my friends, those of you who are locked on, we don't want to really and truly preach violence here or counteract, what happened with violence. But I am saying this. The John public, that child is in a traumatic state, and that child needs to be guided and assisted, and that child needs a lot of counseling. But those miscreants in the class should be lined up in front of that school and made to apologize to that child, made to apologize to the school, the parents of that child, and make sure that, they go down in their knees. I remember in one school that I carried my son to school, and I went in there, one day. And when I went in there and I saw it was around 8:30, close to 9 o'clock, when the sun was now coming out, and I saw some boys kneel down in the sun, facing the east, and they were there with their hands on their heads for punishment. That is the kind of punishment I am talking about, my friends. Those children supposed to be there and videotape them and let John public see how they would feel. You know something? Tell you something? As I speak in here, I could just imagine them laughing.
Yeah.
I could just imagine. What I am saying is of no value to what is taking place in our country. And it clearly indicated when the government of the day, and I have stated that clearly in this program, they are trying to manage crime. They are not trying to prevent crime. Look and see what is going on. We have started this, and look at all our programs. We started doing a forensic, and we counted, and we predicted that there's going to be approximately 600 and more murders in this country in 2024. Right?
But Imam, I just want to delve a little deeper into that school violence issue in the classroom.
Yeah.
All right? That little child, female child, was being surrounded and dealt blows by everyone in the classroom. No one, sided with her.
Nobody assisted.
All right? Even the shameless male students stood up on a desk behind her and kicked her.
Yeah.
Had that child taken a lead pencil and in self-defense,
and
punctured the jugular vein of one of them or pierced it in the heart, and they had died. In self-defense. Right? What would have been the response of the principal? Those in the classroom who were dealing her blows, the police, the Minister of Education.
Exactly what we are saying, Prem.
Right?
Exactly what we are saying.
Because that child needed, if it was another child, they would have done something in defense.
And I believe when incident like that happen, the Minister of Education should visit that school and have a chat with that student, especially that student at this point in time, and let that student be reassured that help is on the way, and that incident is not going to be taken lightly, and the parents should be called into that school. All parents and the Minister of Education with police officers should be there.
Address a PTA meeting.
Yes, no PTA.
Yes.
Get the parents of all those students in that classroom,
yes.
and get the police involved, right? And really and truly the principal of that school. Let me tell you all something. I want to tell you something. There are good teachers, there are good principals in the country, as well as there are lackadaisical principals, there are lackadaisical students, there are lackadaisical teachers in our school system, right? And I tell you something, my friends, those of you who are locked on, it is really and truly hard to know for a fact that parents are working tirelessly to send their children to school, and lo and behold, their children are brutalized. And you know something, that child would not want to go to school.
But Imam, you recall earlier this year, a student stood up and cursed the teacher. That student was expelled.
Yes.
All right? The Minister of Education said, we are opening up Mylat.
Yeah.
Mylat is for those delinquent students and whatnot, right? So that incident was dealt with expulsion from school.
Right.
This one up, what sort of action is going to be taken against a whole class?
Exactly, and that is something that we are going to wait and see, and maybe we will question that in our
because
latter
we know,
program.
we in Sentinel Media here knows that teachers are fearful of their safety in the classroom and out of the classroom. Yeah. We know that.
Because we know for a fact, again, evidence coming to our studio that many times female teachers as well as male teachers, they would get their air, their vehicle tire puncture, they would get their air sent down, and so many things, their vehicles scratch up, and so many things happen to them. And the point is that they really and truly looking at that now as not a profession anymore. They are looking at it as a bread earner, just to pay their bills so that they can take care of their own kids.
You remember the days, our days that is, so to speak, when we had corporal punishment in school?
Yeah.
You get some good governor whip in your back.
Yeah.
You understand? And the girls will get it in their hand here.
I remember this. I had a teacher, right? And this is something I want to tell. There was a tamarind tree at the back of the Felicity Hindu School where I attend.
Make you go and cut your own
and he make me go and cut my own tamarind whip. And the thing about it, sometimes, you know, we just feel we smart. We take the knife and we ring it.
Take a break up.
Get that thing. So when you hear things, so, boy, when that man hit you the first one and that break, and he watched that and he do forensic and he realized that was a ring.
You cut.
Yeah. You get, if you were supposed to get 5, you get 10. And now tell something, that used to work,
Yes,
that used to work. But again, again, that system failed us.
The situation has, the country has evolved. We have evolved.
That system
evolved into this.
In this system.
Into this system.
That is like a devalue the education system by, you know, making everything easy. Look, like for example, yesterday, when we take our drive, right? We take our drive down by the different savannas.
Yeah.
And we said that, you know, we're going to do some videos and we're going to highlight, because I tell you something, the Chinese government, they donated a lot of those playgrounds, right? And maybe this week by Saturday, we're going to show that. Where those playgrounds were, my initial cost would have been maybe about $100,000 or $150,000 each. And that was placed in relevant areas around the country. And lo and behold, that was never used. It became barricaded and people tried to play owners of it. And the Charlieville, the Pier Road recreational one was dismantled and thrown away. The different schools that I've known that went there, thrown away. And that is something, my friends, you know, there is no camaraderie. There's no sense of camaraderie when it comes to school. Because I tell you something, if maybe 2 students in that classroom, that child cannot be hated by all. Sure. But maybe the others
were fearful also.
Were fearful. Maybe they would have been brutalized the same way. But my point here again, my friends, that school...
But Imam, would you, in my days, when Presidential College in Shogunas, right? I recall a Saturday, once a year, or maybe twice a year, the sports master, Mr. Kaulitsa, he passed on now, right? He used to organize what you call outings to the prisons with the children, and you go there and see the kind of conditions these people sleeping and living under. And that was a deterrent behind your mind. Hey, don't venture into action that will lead you to such places.
Not again,
right?
Not again. The whole system have evolved. My friends, those of you who are locked on, feel free to call us. This is your station. Hardfacts is your program. I am your host, Imam Rashid Karam, my co-host, Mr. Premchand Baldev. We are here giving us your time, identifying some of the anomalies that has taken place within the framework of our society when it comes to education, when it comes to crime, when it comes to governance, when it comes to different aspects of our living. We are here all the time bringing some sort of, you know, relief in your minds, because we do the bulwark. We have to deal with it, as I said before, and we're going to continue doing this. I said this, that we're going to beat that bridal road bridge until, until a donkey come out. So my friends, those of you who are locked on, who are still using the traversing the bridal road area, we are going to deal with that issue when we come out. But before we go, we have a caller on the line. Caller? Caller, go ahead. Yes, caller.
I just want to give you all an update with the bridal road issue. So The MP would have given a announcement that the works would have been started, and we would have seen people on site on Friday gone, which they haven't showed up. Now she made another announcement that they would be on site Monday coming. That was Monday gone. She made the announcement. However, nobody had still reached out. None of the MPs, the councillors, and stuff have not reached out to the business owners that is being affected. It doesn't matter how hard we try. It's like if it is their job starts and finish with the building of the bridge and the elimination of the traffic. At the end of the day, these people we have in government was put there to be in service for the people, and they're not doing that. They're not doing a good job. I mean, there's a serious level of incompetence that's going on there, because initially when the work has started, we was not informed prior to the work being done, and then after the last couple of years we would have with the pandemic and everything like that. Now just to come and say that, the bridge is closed off for 5 months, no advance notice or anything like that. It's ridiculous, and they still have not had the courtesy to reach out to any of the business owners, So.
Yeah. All right, so Kola, our hats off goes out to you, because I know for a fact that you have really and truly tried to communicate with the MP of the area and those in authority. So again, we're going to use our media end, to see how we can send information to you all on the Bridle Road extension, and also to the MPs as well as the councillors, to see how best they can mediate with the social development or whichever agencies that can assist you in whatever way, whether it be with food cards, whether it be with some sort of assistance for your kids and so forth. We're going to try our best to highlight it via letter to our MP, Mr. Dinesh Rambali, that is from this side, and maybe we can also carbon copy that to Ms. Vandana Mohit, who is the MP for Shogunas East, and all the councillors could be CC'd. Right, so we're going to try that. And again, thank you all for being patient, and thank you all for being part and parcel of our broadcasting on Hardfacts on Sentinel Media Broadcasting.
And rest assured, Imam, they are listening. They are viewing us.
Yeah.
All right? So let's take
a break. We're going to continue with this Bridle Road issue.
Call ceiling experts today. Quality materials, free estimates, affordable prices, professional installation, reliable and efficient service with over 20 years experience. We can build any design given to us. Quality over quantity. Lowest prices in Trinidad, so book us today.
Bridal Road videos, eh? So my friends, welcome back to our program Hard Facts, viewed on Sentinel Media Live Broadcasting. We are here Mondays, Wednesdays and Saturdays to highlight those deadly issues that are affecting our country, our people who are reeling under pressure from the government, from local government bodies, bandits and otherwise. And we are going to dive straight into Imam. All right? The pleas of the residents of Bridal Road in Cunupia. Video. Business here, and I am sure since this bridge collapsed about 2 months ago, Miss Sharon has something to say to Sentinel Media and Trinidad and Tobago. Sharon? Yeah.
Right. So since the bridge closed down about 2 months ago, my business gone to zero. All my customers, well, not passing through anymore.
All right, yeah.
No money, I have to pay bills, current, water, light. So,
internet.
Internet.
Yeah.
So I'm asking the government or somebody to try and see how they can compensate us for our losses. Because there's a lot of losses. Goods expiring, you know, nothing in selling. So, looking to find some kind of compensation. I'm hoping that they can help us. Right. Are we hoping
so
that
the goods we got throwing, now nobody can even come in the committee for pick up. Look, everything spoiled. Pineal, everything spoiled. Watch, everything, pawpaw, everything inside there, spoiled. Nothing now come out. Remember, people now pass no more, so everything collapsed. And every business, people ask around the area, the same problem they get.
Okay.
As you can see, there's no vehicle passing on the road, and the back by me is totally dead. That's how it's been since the bridge have been closed off. Absolutely no traffic. At the end of the day, I have bills to pay, and light bill and stuff is a struggle now. And the MP was here from what I gathered just up to yesterday, and she still didn't come and spoke to any of us, you know, the business owners on them that is being affected. Which I find is ridiculous, because at the end of the day, she in one of her media outline that she posted, she stated that she's aware that the business owners is being affected. However, she still haven't reached out to us, and she was right in the back here. You know, at the end of the day, I would love to have some sort of compensation for loss of business, which is a total loss. And up to now, I have a lot of perishable items and stuff like that, which just staying on the shelf and rotting, and I have to throw them away. You know, goods, whatever goods. Look, my kiss stand don't even have any kiss bread or anything like that. You know, so things really bad. And up to now, the MPs, the councillors, nobody has reached out to us. You know, so we asking for somebody to show some sort of concern for the business owners, that they know they would have been affected, but nothing was put in place. Some sort of compensation need to be allocated for business owners that is being affected, because this is ridiculous. I mean, at the end of the day, when you all wanted your votes, you all said that every single vote mattered. Now it's like multiple business owners and families. There's 6 of us in this household here, and you know.
Okay, we have a caller on the line. Let's see the call. Caller, go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Good evening, Brim. Abu Zar here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So as we could see, the work has officially started with the bridge. Over the last 2 days. They started clearing the area and prepping it for the grounds has been prepped. I was told yesterday by an individual from the contractor that WASA is prepared. They should finish the work. They're part of the work in 2 weeks' time, and then the contractor will begin their work. Right? Also, yesterday in a meeting with the Cunupia station, we were discussing matters in regards to the current traffic situation, which is going to get worse in the next 2 weeks into Christmas. So one call I want to make to the government, to the Minister of Works, is to look into using the Montplaisir Road into Mango Tree Road for those people who have to go to Chinchin, Las Lomas, Boyquito, San Rafael. Right? Instead of they have to choke into the southern main road traffic to go to Chinchin, they could just make the left and enter into Montplaisir Road, which will ease off a lot of the traffic from the southern main road.
Okay. Okay.
As we know.
Yeah. Thank you, Abu Sar.
Okay.
Yeah, Director, there's a video which I did with report from the engineers who were at the project. Can we have that video, please?
Right now, Abu Sar was making a suggestion, right?
A brilliant suggestion.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion, but the only problem with that suggestion is that that Mango Tree Road is not a road anymore, it is a ode, right? The RO vanished from that road a long while ago. And right now, presently, it is not a road, it is a toad, right? It is really, really bad. And I think that nobody would want to go into that road in the dilapidated condition that it is at this present time. Right? I tell you something, government, Trinidad and Tobago government needs to really and truly stop discriminating. Stop discriminating when it comes to projects. You have to, this country, Trinidad and Tobago, maybe these 18 or 19 constituencies didn't vote you, right? Listen carefully. But when you look at the comparative votes and you look at the other, like for example, you would have found that there would have been 10,000 people in that same area that voted for you, PNM. So now because you lost that seat, you are victimizing people who voted for you. And that is so unfair. Because I know for a fact that when Kamla Prasad government, when our government, at that point in time, I was strongly affiliated with that government in the sense that I was a strong activist when it comes to politics of the day.
Okay, we have the video.
Right?
Yeah.
So my friends, again, let's take this video and we'll continue our conversation.
No vehicular movement. There is no one here. This place is completely dead, so to speak. This is the office of the contractor, and these are the shed here, the equipment that would be used in the construction of this bridge. So good morning again, my friends, and we are at the Bridle Road where the bridge has collapsed, and there was the village has staged a massive protest here sometime last week, and as you can see, some measure of work has started. The contractor, which is General Earth Contractors, they are here, and they have advised us that they are going to put what you call concrete pillars here and a base for this pipe here to be placed on the base across the river here. All right, when that is finished, then the work on the actual bridge is going to start. In the meantime, that must be done. They have to prepare the base for WASA to come and to do their welding and their pipe work and whatnot to rest that pipe on the base. So in the meantime, this is what is happening here. If you can come this way and see. All right. We were told by the engineers here that this wall has to be replaced also to save this property. And this pipe has to be removed too. The bridge will be extended in width, that is. It will be a two-way flow of traffic when this is finished. However, that pipeline stuff is going to take about 2 weeks, and after 2 weeks period,
Prem, maybe you could give some final details on it.
The video went a little mute there. The pipeline stuff, we were told by the engineers from the company there, would take about 2 weeks for WASA for they to prepare the base for the pipe to be laid upon. And when that is finished, Imam, right, then the demolition and the reconstruction of the new bridge will take place. So we're looking at a 2 weeks waiting period for the pipeline to be done. Then actual work on the bridge should be started.
All right. So again, my friends, those of you who are locked on, right? I mean, let us be real here. Let us be real. We have a community that is going to be isolated for a period of maybe 8 months. That is my calculation, approximately 8 months. From now, we're talking about December, we're talking about around November, October, November in 2025, right? Now we have families, the guy who spoke on the live interview a while ago, he said that he have six family members. And when you look at all those persons who are affected, we are not saying on our program here that you have to mind or take care of all those people. We are not saying that. But what we are saying is that during this duration, this period of time, something has to be done or something should be done to assist that community residents so that they could be able to continue having a livelihood. That's all we are saying. And that can only be done if it is taken into Parliament, number one, or it is taken seriously by the members of Parliament in and around the area.
Imam, as I said in 2 or 4 programs ago, right? The plight of the people must be addressed in Parliament by their MP.
Yeah.
Whoever is the MP, Mr. or Mrs. MP, you need to take up the plight of these people in Parliament and give the government their share of it.
I wanna ask a question here, right? And maybe somebody could call us and give us some sort of information on it. The number is 740-3347, right? We have MPs, we have members of Parliament from the opposition side, and we have ministers in the government side, right? Now, the government side, they have the heirs, they have their ministries, whether it be social development, whether it be Ministry of Infrastructure, local government, what have you. They have that. They have that initiative to harness and to take from those different ministries.
Yes.
And
transfer funds.
Yes, and assist
Assist
other
others,
people,
yeah.
right? Now, my point is that the opposition bench, on the other hand, they don't have that, right? And I think that that is unfair. I think that the opposition should have some sort of leeway, some sort of privilege to have intimate discussion with the relevant line ministers when it comes to assisting, whether it be from the social development end, whether it be from, you know what, from the infrastructural development end. People have to be communicating with those people. And I tell you something, when you realize what is taking place, you look at the Parliament channel. You look at the Parliament channel and you're going to see what kind of debate is taking place. You don't see individual communities being represented at all, right? You don't see that. You will see that in social media. You will see that via the network that the MPs have and so forth. But I am saying things like that. When a road collapse, right? Like for example, let me just take MP Rushton Parry. In his area, there's approximately 8 or 9 landslide. I would have expected him to have the opportunity to highlight these landslides and you know, the trauma and the hardship that the residents of that area is facing. Similarly, when it comes to Vandana Mohit, when it comes to Dinesh Rambali, Shogunas East, Shogunas West, they should have the opportunity to stand up in Parliament and be able to, you know, argue the case that is of concern to their constituencies. When they go in Parliament, my friends, when they go in Parliament, when was the last time, did this issue of Bridal Road really and truly ever came up when the MPs are speaking?
Never.
Tell me something. And why is that so? Because I tell you something, when we look at right just here in Felicity, we have been lamenting about the cremation site. That is an important thing. The Hindu community in Felicity is approximately 13 to 14,000. When you look at the fishermen, when we talk about the fishing depot, that is we're talking about another 10,000 people who is not being really and truly represented properly. When we look at that bridge, the farmers have to take that is connecting the Shogunas, the Shoguna section to the Kuba section when it comes to the Caroni Limited lands, where that bridge is dilapidated, right? When we talk about that, have you ever heard anybody going across there and speaking about those things? Those things, they don't mention these things. And the question begged to be asked is, what is the objective of being in Parliament? To debate crime over and over, and it reached no way to debate higher taxes when it comes to gasoline and when it comes to, you know, different taxes. You tell me, Prem, what is the objective of having an MP?
Imam, if not for Sentinel Media, that bridal bridge issue would have never been aired. No one in Toronto would have been made aware of what those people are going through.
Because
never.
We have took up the mantle. We have took up the torch on that. And we are going to continue blazing that torch. We want to do something when it comes to Christmas Day. And we want to go in there and see how other other communities and other families are enjoying Christmas, and these people who are there, they would be in a sad mood simply because the monies that was supposed to be generated from those shops and those businesses to facilitate the needs of their children had not been met simply because of bad representation, number one, by whom? By the MP for the area, and also for the minister, the line minister, when it comes to infrastructure, because he's supposed to have on his desk, if I am the Minister of Transport, Works and Transport, in front of my desk at any given time, I must know exactly how much bridge needs to be repaired. I must know how much landslip there is. They wouldn't tell him how much pothole it is, because that is too much to mention. But again, things like those should have been on the desk of the Minister of Works and Transport. Right? So again, my friends, those of you who are locked on, the number 740 is your number. That is not my number. That is not Sentinel Media number. That is your number, 740-3347. You call us, tell us what is taking place. You saw incident with the girl being brutalized and being beaten in a classroom. You saw murder rate going up. I tell you something, Prem, I'm just going to run into something here. Right? A son, right? This is the son of a businessman and his daughter. Right, they are fleeing the country. You have that video there? You have that video? Director, pull that video for me. And pray, maybe you could take charge of that video and bring some discussion to that.
It is the sad reality that 77-year-old Shirley Baliram Singh now faces after begging bandits not to rape and kill her and her differently abled daughter on Tuesday morning. 3 armed bandits broke into Baliram Singh's home and attacked her and Diane as they slept. Diane has a congenital spinal defect and uses a walker. After deciding not to rape and kill, the bandits, including one with a Venezuelan accent, used a telephone cord and computer mouse to tie the women's hands and feet. They then used clothing to gag them.
Why did this 3 or 2 o'clock, right? They can't push open my door like that. And these men come up and they say, shh, means be quiet, right? And they come and they ask me, where is the money? Where is the money? So I don't know what to say. So I said, well, the money is in the drawer, closet there. Then they asked me, where is the jewelry? So they went to the master bedroom and they take up everything, all my diamonds, all my necklace.
The bandits jumped the wall at the back of Baliram Singh's home and picked a lock after failing to rip open the burglar proof. The bandits ransacked every room, stealing about $17,000 in cash, $2,000 in US currency, about $100,000 in jewelry, a television, mobile phones, alcohol, and a DVR and monitor. They loaded the items into Baliram Singh's Nissan Qashqai SUV and drove off. She spent an hour loosening her restraints and then called out to a neighbor for help.
I only pray to God that they don't rape me, and don't kill me. They said they're going to kill me. The man had a gun on my head for, and it's a big piece of iron he had in his hand, and the gun, a big knife, a big long knife. They said they're going to kill us. I said, please don't kill me.
Baliram Singh saw many stories of home invasions, but with burglar proofing, cameras, and other security features, she never believed she would be a victim. With other children living abroad afraid of TNT's high crime rate, they are not taking any chances. She and Diane will be gone soon.
Okay, so basically, my friends, that is something that is going to be a trend in Trinidad and Tobago. For those of you who do not know what is taking place, home invasion is taking root. Kidnapping and home invasion has been and will continue being the trend of our modern day living, really. And
even there's a new profession that evolved in Trinidad.
Because look at that. When you look at that, right? You look at that situation there. They had burglar proof, right? They had cameras. They had all the means of really and truly bringing some sensitiveness in their life, right? And my friends, look at what is happening in this country. And you and I have to understand these things. You and I have to understand that the government of the day needs to act. You need to act. You can't be, trying to maintain and manage crime anymore. It is about time in this country, Trinidad and Tobago, some deep rooted regulation be instilled that when bandits get caught, or tell, this is why we have been lamenting, what can we do?
What should we do?
What should we do when men enter? When people like that enter in our homes? What should we do? What type of violence we should counteract? This lady is begging for her what? For her incapable daughter, right? Not to be raped by these miscreants. Look at what is happening in our society. My friends, it is a really, really challenging time. And I want to call on the United National Congress and those affiliates. It is not time right now to ruffle any feathers. It is time to get this government out of office. We need to get this government out of office. And you know what is causing all these things? When we look at videos, there are videos where people are telling the East Indian communities that if you don't like it, get the hell out of this country. I saw a video, it abhorred me. I was so much, boy, I tell you something, it's about time. It's a good thing that I'm an imam, right? And I can't really use the type of language I want to use. But I tell you something, when people like that go on TV and talk about the Indian community has to go, if you don't like it, why you don't go back India, why you don't do this, that is something that people are supposed to be putting a stop to. They're supposed to be putting a stop to that. We don't come here and say, well, the African people had to go back Africa. Our African brothers, our East Indian brothers, we build this country together. We don't come here and lament and bring down different races. That is not so. We have to build with productivity. We have to build with, with closeness. We have to build with this bond of brotherhood. But when we see people like that going on Facebook, and they're building up our audience, and they are motivating people, like I told you all this, people are saying they're going hunting. And when you think it's animal like Lap and Guti and all these things, no, they are coming from the hills and they are going different places and they are going to rob hard-working citizens in different parts of the country.
At gunpoint.
At gunpoint.
So they're really hunting.
So they're hunting.
Yes.
They're going to hunt. They're going to hunt human being. My friends, those of you who are locked on, it's about time you all dial this phone 740 and tell us what's really going on in this country.
And Imam, the lady said in the ending part of that video, which was not aired here, she said she is going to leave the country.
Yeah,
there
are lots
daughter.
and lots of people. There was a time like this in Trinidad and Tobago, about 5 or 6 years, no, 10 years back. People were fleeing this country.
In droves.
They were running from this country because of the oppression that the East Indian community were being plagued with. Now I'm using the word East Indian community because when you look at all these home invasion, what you are seeing, and you know what she's saying? They are recruiting people from the South American countries because somebody was speaking Spanish. My friends, those of you who are locked on, we are in a really, really sad state in this country unless and until the government of the day come out in the open and tell Trinidadians, tell the citizens of this country what we can do to protect ourselves. What we can do. Why is it that we can't put up electrical fence? Why can't we put up electrical fence? Why can't we put that, plug it on, that you can get some peace? So that when the bandits come, you plug it on there and electrocute them or something like that. Tell us what we can do. We don't know what to do. So those of you who are locked on, my friends, the number again is 740-3347. Give us a call. We're going to take a short break. And the people who are using the Bridle Road Bridge, bear up. I am telling you, gears up, gears up, gears up. That bridge is not going to complete in 3 and 4 months. Right? There's a rainy period. There's a rainy season. So we had to look at the June, July, August period there. And we are talking about, I am saying, 8, 9 months. So I tell you something, those people who have business, you all have to find a different location or ask the government of the day, really and truly via your agent. Your agent is the MPs for the area. And if they are not doing that, get rid of them. Come out and be vociferous against them. Go to their office and placard. Go to their office and placard. So we're going to take a short break, my friends. And when we come back, we're going to continue on our program, Hard Facts. Okay, so my friends, pleasant good day to those of you who have now joined us. This is your program, Hardfacts. Prem just made a joke here. Again, I don't really want to share that joke with you all, but again, it is really and truly when it comes to the political divides in our country, Trinidad and Tobago.
Even let me ask a question before you go further. All right? So, maybe 2 years ago, the government of Trinidad and Tobago, in collaboration with the opposition, saw it fit to legalize the use of marijuana. Am I right?
Yeah.
Good. Now we are hearing a member, a very high member in parliament, which is Ms. Kamala Prasad Bisasa. She's asking from a political platform that the legal age for smoking or use of marijuana and gambling should be increased to 25 years. Where was that suggestion when the bill was being debated and passed?
Boy. Again, Prem, right? I tell you something. That is of no value to me. That is of no real, you know.
So, all right, what is the age of permissible age of using marijuana?
People
18?
smoking marijuana from 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. But the point I am making here, there are so much issues that is more detrimental.
Huh?
Detrimental. Marijuana is detrimental, yes. You know something? The herb itself, that marijuana tree, that marijuana plant, if the people smoke that alone, right? And don't put them chemical where they put in and all the additives and all
then it is a herbal drug.
It's a herbal thing, but you see people they're not getting high with the marijuana again. So what they're doing, they're putting some other chemical and they put in this and that and the next and they're making it more hyper. Additives, right? And my point here is property tax. We had to pay property tax. What is it that the opposition is doing? You all are high profile lawyers. There is a clause where residents who receive that registered mail could appeal it. Why it is that you all don't collectively sit down and ask the people, because you know something, that is not going to be done.
Or send out a document stating
that is not going to be done.
You know something, Imam, you touched a good point and a very sensitive point. 99% of the members of the UNC in Parliament are lawyers.
All of them is lawyers.
Queen's Counsel, Senior Counsel. What are they doing about property tax?
You telling me, right, there's a clause, that there is a clause in that letter that is sending out that if you disagree with the information that is here or the value on your property, you can appeal it. Why it is, right, that the MPs, right, those who are lawyers, why it is that they cannot read that form and get that, you know, the fine prints and bring it to the forefront of the minds of the citizens of this country.
Or force the government in Parliament to tell the citizenry what course of action is there to be taken.
Yes.
We're not seeing that.
We have seen
No, they want to do internal fighting presently. Yeah.
Okay.
If it wasn't for the protest in Bridal Road, you never hear Ms. Vandana Mohit.
Exactly. So what we are talking about here, my friends, it is real. It is something that, I tell you something, I want to say hats off to the police again. Because it seems as though now it is that the police, they are finding arms and ammunition and they are finding maybe 1 or 2 miscreants. So hats off again to the police. Continue.
Right. Imam, yesterday evening, I think it was, there was a shooting in Digo Martin. All right? A 29-year-old man was shot and killed. Right? He was shot and killed by other assailants. The police shot at one of the guy, but they missed him, right? And a 4-year-old boy was wounded with a stray bullet. So we see the police in action a little bit there. But we need, according to ASP Musa, we need to have aggressive policing, aggressive opposition, right, in fighting crime, and aggressive protest action taking place in the country.
We need to fight crime. We need fight crime initiatives. Now, I'll tell you something. From this program, right, if you all listen to our program, you're going to realize either it is the Saturday program or Monday program, we said that Gary Griffith is not the Lord of the Rings when it comes to criminology, right? We said that. And lo and behold, I saw in the daily newspaper
he opted out.
He opted out, and I want to say hats off to Gary, because Gary is thinking out of the box, because basically when Kamala go there with her team or her barat, right, and she gather the intel, maybe she could call Gary Griffith in a private
forum, yes,
private powwow.
I say, hey, these what they offer.
These are the things that here, and maybe you could advise me differently. You don't have to go. You know that Gary Griffith and the Prime Minister not seeing eye to eye.
Correct.
Oh God, try to cause some sort of maybe unity to prevail when it comes to the opposition and the government of the day, because we get nothing. We have to wait. We already, right? People who voted for the United National Congress, we have been waiting 8 years, 9 years, and we're going to wait 10 years to get some service done in our roadway, in our cremation site, in the areas to bring some sort of relief for us in our areas. And chances are, the rate is going at this present time frame.
We had 15 years.
We have to wait 15 years. Right? Because they're not getting their act together. The leader of the party, must be able to be resilient, must be able to be strong, must be able to be vociferous. Vociferous. You need to be vociferous. Call your MPs together. If your MPs are not seeing eye to eye with you, be bold enough to say, well, look, 11 or 12 MPs are with me and 7 is not with me at this point in time. And that wouldn't work. Having a opposition with 12 MPs supporting the leader and 7 MPs against the leader, it is not going to bring proper representation.
So there's an opposition within the opposition.
Exactly. So we don't want that. So what we need to do is people have to come out. People have to come out seriously and stop saying that all the fighting the UNC and all the fight. Like I went to do some deliveries, what day it was. And I was trying to identify with people and finding out what they are saying and all these things, right? And bottom line is the in-house fighting that is taking place presently within the circles of the United National Congress. Either you all have to really and truly give up that and join for the sake of the betterment of this country, or really and truly prepare your flock or your following to face another 5 years of imbut, giggling, and Rowley taunting, and all these miscreants as ministers really and truly slapping it in our faces because you all cannot make a proper decision whether you are for or against. Because I tell you something, everybody is looking for their own position frame. Everybody is looking to see who is going to remain there and do what? Remain there. There are MPs who are in parliament at this point in time. They cannot make proper representation. They cannot stand up before the present PNMites. They can't stand up. They quake in their boots when they had to face Rowley. They quake in their boots when they had to face Faris and these guys. They quake in their boots. They don't come out and talk. They don't have the testicular fortitude to stand up and face these people.
And you know something, Imam? Some of them are afraid of repercussions within the opposition when they speak or what they would say.
So again, my friends, those of you who are locked on, we are here not attacking no UNC here.
That is public knowledge.
We're not attacking no damn UNC. We are UNC, whether you like it or not. Some of you come in yesterday and you get ministerial position. You all don't know how this party was formed. Right? So let me just keep it quiet and don't feel that we are attacking UNC, because we know for a fact that the UNC is the only party that could represent the whole of Trinidad and Tobago. Unlike the PNM, you represent, a certain sector of the community. Right? So we know all that. So don't get tied up and feel like we don't know that. We know our politics for sure. UNC have to come in governments, but again, there's changes has to take place, and that changes, my dear brothers, my dear friends, has to be a serious-minded leader. A serious change has to come from within the framework of the party. We're going to take a break, and if you have any inclination to feel that we are not talking the truth, call us and tell us. 740-3347. Call us and tell us what you think.
welcome back, friends, to our program Hardfacts, viewed on Sentinel Media Live Broadcasting. Imam, so much is happening in this country, and there seems to be nobody spearheading any aspect of the ills of this society, from the government side, from the opposition side, from the business sector, shall I say, and the poor man on the street. Everybody is suffering. Everybody, this country is under siege. Let us make no bones about that.
Yeah.
All right, we are not hearing nothing from the police, the policing arm of the law, from Mrs. The Commissioner of Police coming back. The shooting in Digger Martin, the lady whom that was invaded, she's about to, she gathered up all her murti and whatnot, she's going to leave the country. All right?
Yeah.
The murder toll is climbing and climbing and climbing like a cloud that never comes down. All right? Then, only today at 10:50 a.m., while we were probably getting here to the studio, our house was on fire in Gasparilla. There is a video. Do you have that video, director? Our house is on fire. He says, no, you don't have that video. All right? It's a board house, and people were there filming. I don't know if the fire department was informed, if they were trying to out the blaze and whatnot. We can't say. But all these things, you know, there should be a rapid response from the fire service, if they were informed, though.
Yeah.
Right? If they were informed.
So again, my friends, those of you who are locked on, Hard Facts is your program that we have been here for the longest while. We have been here for around 8 months now, and we have highlighted lots and lots and lots of problems, and we have given solutions, and we have talked about issues when it comes to crime, when it comes to health, when it comes to infrastructure. We went in protests. Our team covered lots and lots and lots of things that really and truly needs to be aired. Now, our Prime Minister, you know, last week, or the week before, he went and visited MBS. That is the King of Saudi Arabia. And really and truly, when we look at the information that he brought forward to the table, really and truly, that is common knowledge pertaining to Hajj visas and so forth. But what we are saying again, my friends, the Palestine rally, the march, it is going to take place again. That is Sunday coming at the Arangwes Savannah, starting time 3 p.m. Right? So again, my friends, I think it's 2 p.m. Yeah, 2 p.m.
Yeah.
Starting time 2 p.m.
Lots of parking available.
Yeah.
The police will be there out in full force to protect the protesters, Imam.
Yeah.
Right? From any harm, from any outside opposing force or whatnot. So you are safe. You
Right.
are safe.
And I think that the people of Palestine, they are suffering long enough. And you all, those of you who have never ever went to one of those rallies, please do come out and join this rally, this solidarity march and prayer that is this Sunday coming. The Gaza is under siege, and concerned Muslims of Trinidad and Tobago are saying that, you know, they are having another assembly, and the assembly point is the Arangwes Savannah, and they will be marching through areas of Arangwes Road, El Sicoro Road, and Boundary Road. They're going to make that block there. It's going to be a good walk. And then I think they're going to go straight back to the Arangwes Savannah, where they're going to have their normal speeches and all those things. So again, my friends, please join with us. We are going to be here. Sentinel Media is going to be there, and we're going to try to highlight as much as possible. And again, friends, those of you who are locked on and watching this video, you are watching this show. And when we ask you all to do an interview with us, do not feel scared or ashamed. You know, you just come out and speak your mind. If you are seeing things that is happening and you are not, understanding it, or come out and say, look, I really don't understand what is going on, or I didn't really follow it up, or something like that. But don't tell us no interview and thing. Because again, people need to know from different perspectives, from different points of view. Right? They will hear it from maybe the Islamic community, they hear it from the Christian community, they hear it from the Baha'i community, they hear it from the Amerindian community, they hear it from the students of the Caribbean communities, and so many different things. So my friends, those of you who are locked on, our program, Hard Facts, is your program. Call us, let us know what is taking
something,
place.
Imam, I thought just crossed my mind, right? With the school violence that is happening in Tobago and in our country too also. And you know, through the Caribbean, I saw some videos of school violence in Jamaica.
Yeah.
All right? Now, one thing both of us did not mention here, and let me just draw, let us show our minds back probably about 15, 20 years ago, all right? When there was a tie, 1818 tie, you recall that?
Yeah.
With the UN Centipede,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Morality.
The then President of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, Mr. Robinson, he chose two words, right? What was it two was again?
Morality was one.
Yeah, morality was one. I can't get the other one right. Right. Anyway, but you all know what I'm speaking about, right? And he handed over the governance of the country, taking it away from the prime ministership of Mr. Pandey and give it to Mr. Manning, right? Morality and spirituality, moral and spiritual values. Those were the two words, right? Where has that, he saw it fit that the PNM has moral and spiritual values, so he gave them the government to run, all right? Since then, where has that morality and spirituality disappeared and gone? Look at the behavior of our students. Where has it gone?
Prima, tell us something, right? When we look at the 1818 tie, right, and that occurred, right, normal leadership, we would not have, just succumb to that. That could have been dealt with at a different level. And people should have known that. Because nowhere in government, nowhere in the whole world,
you have a tie
realm, that you as the president of a country, you are going to give the governance under these grounds. You check it and see, follow history, and you find out where in this world, in this whole world.
You think that could happen in the Middle East,
no,
Imam?
Middle
Or in
East
India?
or West or South or North, it would never happen anywhere. But it's somehow or the other, there was some sort of not collusion, but some sort of discussion held, because when you look at the relationship between the late Patrick Manning and the Basdev Pandey, you would have realized that they were really and truly good friends.
Very, very good friends.
So basically, under that context, right? Under that context, what the president of the country was saying, that, hey, Basdev Pandey and Patrick Manning have more morality and more spirituality. That he was saying. Bottom line.
Yeah.
And this is what is happening today in our society, my friends. People are judging each other. People are doing what they want and getting away with it simply because they have certain criterions of judging people. They are judging people. Because I'll tell you something. If people are saying this, when you look at that video that I'm speaking about, I don't even want to show it on the station, where that individual say that if you, all the time, we only battering Rowley and Rowley and Rowley this and Rowley that and Rowley this. If all of don't like it, why all of don't go India?
Who the hell is it to tell me to go India?
Go India? That is what they are saying. And people are biting that, swallowing that, and thinking that this country belongs to the African people. That is what they're saying. This country doesn't belong to the Indian, and it doesn't belong to African people. It belongs to the both tribal attitude that many people have, and it belongs to the different sect of people who made effort and sacrifice. The Syrian community made effort and sacrifice, right? And they are such a small population, yet still they had the audacity and they had the strength to go on national worldwide media.
That person is fueling hate, aggression, and racism in this country by making that statement.
Yeah, and it was well appreciated. It had lots and lots of commentary. If they don't like it, why they don't pack the bag and go, the jihadi bundle, and go back to India? Why you must be doing that? Why is this? What have the East Indian community done to you all? What have we done? We are trying, we are working tirelessly. Why don't the other people, the other sect of the society continue doing the same? They are, hey, watch me, I know African people. They are African people who have plenty ambition, and they are working very hard, and they have business, and they have contractors, and they have doctors for children, and they have lawyers for children, and all these things. So don't come and tell me that because we are saying what we're supposed to be saying, not because Dr. Rowley is the Prime Minister, we have to be swallowing hook, line, and sinker what he say.
Yeah,
Kamala Prasad is the opposition leader. What she say, we had to say it. And that is the reason why Sentinel Media and Hardfacts is here. We criticize both sector. If for non-performance. That is all we do. We don't hate you all. We don't hate you. We criticize you all in the context that maybe you all would listen to us and you'll lift your performance.
Yes.
That's all.
So rewrite the national anthem.
Exactly.
Here, every creed and race don't find an equal place.
Hey. So again, my friends, those of you who have been looking at our program Hardfacts, we ask you continue looking, continue sharing information, continue telling us of what is taking place in your neck of the woods, so that we can come here 3 times a week highlighting whatever is challenging you. Like for example, let me just give you an example. And I want you all to listen carefully, Trinidad and Tobago. There are people who like to make things hard from other people, right? Where in the licensing office, right, they're telling you that if somebody furnish a bill, a light bill, because now if you renting in a man property, right, Prem? I just telling you what happened just a while ago. A man is a tenant, and he brought the information, but I said I'll just raise it up. So he said that he went to the license office in Caroni to renew his permit. And when he went there, they're asking for certain document. Number one, where you live. And he said that he's a tenant. He has to go to the landlord. The landlord has to do a letter stating that he's a tenant. Then the landlord have to give him a bill, a light bill now, to say that he is, I don't know why they want light bill, but they want a light bill or a water bill. And the third thing now, the landlord now have to photocopy his ID card, right, and give it to them so that these people in the licensing office could be able to renew a man license. So if a man, just say a man living in the pavilion, there's taxi men who like that, because I know a taxi man was living in the gas station. He was sleeping in the gas station because he can't pay rent, so he had to sleep in the gas station. What about people like that who do not have a place of abode and their license up, they're not going to get a license? Is that a criterion? License office. Is that Minister of Transport, is that a criterion for a man to renew his license? Or I think that your license expire, you have your birth certificate, you have a passport, you have your ID card, and that expire, you use those documents. You use those documents. A time will come, a man, there are people who sleeping in the car. In America right now, all in Philadelphia, and all, no, they're sleeping in the car.
Yes.
And the government, you know, they put microwave and a little place where they could go and bathe and wash their clothes. They sleep in their car. Look at the document on YouTube. But here it is in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, when you go in America to open a bank account, right? You could open a bank account like this, boom. But when you had to open a bank account in Trinidad and Tobago, you have a long list. So you had to get a credit card, you had to have a long list like this. That is Trinidad and Tobago. The red tape cannot be enough for them. They're going to create more red tape and red tape and red tape. And you and I, we put people to represent we. And these people do not know the difference between the elbow and the knee. They don't know that in some cases. Right? So again, my friends, those of you are locked on. For the guy who went to the license office and you didn't get through, I want you all to come here. I'm going to interview him for Saturday. And let me hear what's in Nancy's story that the license office want again. They asked him to get a light bill. He got a light bill. I think it was 5 months or 6 months old.
But as the expired one, they don't want that.
But I say they want now. Yeah. But what, wait, Prem, look at the objective of it, right?
Next thing they're going to ask the landlord to accompany him to the office.
But what is the objective of getting a light bill? Huh?
And you rent it.
If the light bill pay, right? If the light bill pay, will Rohan Sinanan pay the light bill for them?
It looks so. It looks so.
Why you asking for light bill? Why you asking for water rate? Why?
But how when it have water, apparently there's no light bill?
Hey people, Trinidad and Tobago is not a real place. Eh? Trinidad and Tobago is not a real place. Those of you who are locked on, thank you all very, very much. Yeah. We ask you to continue looking at us. Continue sharing your videos. Continue letting us know what is taking place around when it comes to crime. When it comes, not only crime, when it comes to anything that is happening good. Tell us what is happening good in your community so we can highlight it. You know, children who have excelled in education, children who are doing things good in schoolwork. Let parents come outside and do these things. You know, I have gotten a list downstairs there with about 15 or 20 letterhead coming in from different charitable organizations. They want to do school treats and they're doing this and they're doing that and the next. And people like us, the corporate citizens, the business community really and truly help facilitate those things. What do the government of Trinidad and Tobago do? Do they do any Christmas treat in any of the areas? Huh? When it comes to the Eid, they give one community or one organization maybe $1 million. Right? Mama guide them with $1 million and say, go, it have a 200 mosques in Trinidad, go and get them $5,000, yes, $5,000, and shut them up. And other communities benefit. What about the students? Even in the prisons. In the prison, they get Christmas treat. Right? What do the children of the country of Trinidad and Tobago receive from the government of the day? Do they get any gifts? Do they get anything from the government of the day to really and truly help them have a good and pleasant Christmas, if they want to call it that? You tell me, people of Trinidad and Tobago, why it is that the private sector have to foot that bill all the time. Why it is that the business community have to foot that bill all the time. And you, the government of the day, spend millions and billions of wasteful dollars like what is taking place at the Shogunas in that Twin Towers there.
Yes, yes, yes.
Where they highlighted that the persons who erected that scaffolding there is about 2 years old. And you look at the amount of monies that is being paid for scaffolding. Hey, people, what is happening? Are you all sleeping? Are you all not understanding what is going on? Our monies are going down the drain, and the service that we are receiving is next to nothing. You all come out and talk. Come out and talk. If your MPs don't want to do it, come out and do it yourselves. Form lobby group and do it yourself, because if the MPs don't want help from us to do it, let's do it ourselves. Okay? Prem?
Imam, before we close, a concerned citizen was telling me that if we can mention this in the program, the school is about to be closed and children will be home. Both parents are working. And they are very, 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 very fearful of leaving their teenage children, boys and girls, and even as small at a younger age, at home, unsupervised, because of the crime situation, because of home fires, and what you call expanded grocery bill too.
I tell you something.
People are worried. People are worried.
What you're saying is really and truly, it is what is happening. I tell you something. For this 2 weeks, right, Trinidad and Tobago, listen to what Imam Rashid Karim is saying. There are single mothers who are going to lock their children up in apartments, right, from morning till evening. And those children cannot come and they have a phone and TV, and pass that 8 hours watching TV and on your phone.
And probably with no food to it.
No, parents will give them food. They'll give them the food, they'll make the fries and, and whatever. And thing.
But a lot of people, Imam, are appealing to sentinel media that if we can stretch our hands financially with groceries and that sort of thing for Christmas, we don't know how we can handle that. I don't know.
We're going to try.
We're going to pass it on to the MPs.
Yeah, we're going to do that. All right, so thank you all, Trinidad and Tobago. May God Almighty bless each and every one of you all. And to all our loyal listeners, I don't want to call your names now, but again, we want to say a hats off to you all. And maybe we can extend invitation to some of you all to come and visit our studio for the Yuletide season, maybe later on in December, where you can come and sit with us, and maybe you can have a family kind of reunion, kind of discussion, and we can go live on our program, Hard Facts. All right, so thank you again, and may God Almighty bless each and every one of us.
And you know what, Imam? It will be a learning experience for the younger children to come and see what a studio looks like, how the whole operation goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so a pleasant good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago.